Test match between England and India at Wormsley got off to an extraordinary start, with 16 wickets falling for 179 runs on the opening day, where the bowlers dominated. Conditions were ideal for bowling in, and so it was a good toss for India to win, and they made the most of it as Nagarajan Niranjana trapped Heather Knight in front for a single in the 4th over. It was 20 for 2 as Knight's opening partner Lauren Winfield ended her debut Test innings on 8 when she edged a drive off the same bowler behind. 8 of the Indian players were making their Test debuts in their first 4-day game since 2006, and what a start they made, with Charlotte Edwards in her 22nd Test falling for 4 as the impressive Niranjana struck for a 3rd time. There was plenty of swing on offer, and that brought about the downfall of Tammy Beaumont, who'd padded up to become the 3rd LBW victim. 30 for 4 became 49 for 5 after 20 very tough overs, when Lydia Greenway was another to see the umpire's finger raised after being hit on the pads, as Niranjana's opening spell brought her 4 for 11 from 10 mostly unplayable overs. This was not what England would have been expecting against this inexperienced Indian side. The only one to really deal with the bowlers and the conditions was Sarah Taylor, who tried to make the most of the fact that the opening attack had to take a break. Taylor had made 30 out of a total of 78 when she was the 6th to fall, yet another leg before victim, as the visitors were rewarded for bowling straight. Doing just that was Sublakshmi Sharma, who then bowled Natalie Siva after she'd become just the 3rd to make it into double figures. Next ball, and Anya Shrubsole was also on her way back to the pavilion, another to be hit on the pads in front of her stumps as the umpires were kept busy by the accurate bowling. Debutante Sonia Adedra was the 7th LBW victim, a women's Test match record, when she was trapped in front by Ekta Bisht for 1, a wicket which left England on 88 for 9. And 4 runs later they were all out inside 42 overs when Kate Cross was run out after some indecision about taking a second. With Niranjana taking 4 for 19 from 14.2 overs, England had been shocked to be dismissed for 92. The Indians must have been absolutely thrilled with their bowling performance, one few would have expected, and their openers now try to take full advantage. Tirush Kamini and Smriti Mandhana began the reply with a stand of 40 and 17, mostly untroubled overs, and it looked as if this was going to be a day dominated by their team. But to their immense credit, England came firing back once Jenny Gunn had Kamini very well taken behind by Taylor with her 5th delivery. It was the start of an outstanding spell. After Cross had bowled Poonam Rawat for a duck 3 overs later, Gunn and Taylor combined once again to remove Mandhana for 22, with the total now on 48 for 3. Gunn then struck again in her next over as the umpires, after a quiet spell, were called into action again. Mitali Raj was LBW for 4, before Karu Jain fell in the same way in the next over for a duck, Shrubsole with a wicket to her name for her efforts. Gunn's amazing spell brought her figures of 4 for 7 from 7 overs at one stage, as the Notts player also trapped Harmanpreet Kaur in front for 9, as England claimed 6 wickets for 24 runs in a dozen overs. With 17 still to go, they may have even fancied batting again before stumps were drawn, but they were then held up by Niranjana and Julangaswamy, who saw out the remaining time in adding 23 in the next hour and a bit to just about make it India's day, although there is now little between these two teams. It was